the big dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. What's going on, man? I still feel good about this FSU win. I'm not ready to move on to Louisville. Can we just stay on this? Have like another FSU week?
You know what? I'm with you. I'm
What's up,
with you
Brad?
because I'm feeling the same way.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
I'm feeling the same way. I'm still on a high from FSU and from our performance, which was tremendous. Just really excited about and what I want to see. This is actually I think I was going back and forth with Adam Nolan about this right before we came on the air. And one of the things I want to see is this game will really go a long way to proving that they really turned the corner. Because the fact that they could follow up with a home game against Louisville, who doesn't move the needle, although they're having a much better year than they did last year with a first year head coach. But although Louisville doesn't move the needle the way Florida State does, that there's no letdown, that the preparation is still the same, that they're still practicing as hard, that they're still going to be as intense. Logan, thank you very much for the donation. I'm sorry, you want to go ahead? Thank you, Logan. He
What's up,
said
Logan?
family.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm here. Today was my fault. I was running a little late today. So I'm like trying to get everything sorted out. What's up, George? Don got Don in here early. George in here early. Betu, Perry, Brett, Hurricane Logan, Jason, Dreadlock. What's up, Mr. HD, Curveball, Rubicon, Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Ben Pratt, Wholesome. What's up, Wholesome? Greg,
Rick
Clayvon.
Nasty,
Wholesome says,
rigor
"Oh,
mortis.
sorry for going over the time. Finally, I truly. What do you mean going over the time?
What's that?
Oh,
No,
Wholesome says,
no, because wholesome on his show, he was saying.
oh no, it's all good, man.
Oh no, it's all good, wholesome.
We were late anyway, I believe, so it
Yeah,
worked
I
out.
appreciate
It
you
was
being
meant
there.
it was meant to be. Hey, Logan, once again, man, thank you so much for the $5 donation, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you guys haven't already and you're new here, please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime we do go live, which is every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as well as we do our game recap, review, reaction after every single Canes game. It'll be either that night or the following day in the morning at 11 in the morning. So what do you think about this weekend, Big Dog? You want to do it after the game at night like we did with the FSU, or you rather do it
Yeah,
in the morning?
whatever's good for you. Whatever you want to do is fine.
I guess it depends on how the game goes. No, I'm just kidding.
No. But whatever you want to do. If you want to do it at night, I just make sure we don't step on like we did last week. Do it at 9 o'clock.
It's just that's the only thing with that is because sometimes I know Zoe and Coop, and sometimes a chat gets going. Like Zoe had like a bunch
Yeah.
of people in there, so sometimes like I feel bad making them feel like they have to cut it short.
Right.
So that's
You know what?
why.
Let's do it Sunday at 11.
All right, cool. So we'll do
We'll
it.
do Sunday at 11 then.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it Sunday at 11 in the morning then for the recap of the game and whatnot. So that way we don't step on anybody's toes, man. But yeah, like I was saying, man, if you guys are new here, subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, check us out on our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube and you got Facebook and you want to check out Junior the Big Dog, check us out, man, on Facebook. We're gonna start doing a little bit better with the Facebook in terms of like
wholesome. Thank you, Primo. Thank you for sending him over and for joining us, buddy. We appreciate it, Primo. Thank you.
Greg says Wholesome threatened us if we didn't come over here. Hello, just kidding. What's up, Eddie?
No, thank you guys, all of you, for joining us, man. Excited to see. I mean, I really think Louisville is going to be a very good test for us to find out if we could put together those type of performances. And one of the guys, Dante, brings up a point, and it's true. If you really look at Louisville, they're a bigger threat to us than FSU was. Now, obviously, with FSU, we had to do it in Talacrappy, and we get Louisville at home. But at the same time, this will go a long way to telling us how much has our young team matured in that there is no letdown after a big rivalry game like that.
Hey, you saw what I agree 100%. You saw what Dante said?
What did he say?
He said Big Dog looking like he could be on the sideline with Jared and a tablet. He likes the white polo. That's the first thing I said when I saw my old man. I was like, yo, Big Dog, like you look like you're ready to coach.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'd love to. Physically, if I could, I'd still be doing it. I'd still be coaching. I just can't. I can't count on my body anymore. But the rigor mortis was talking about that. He did tell us about that Bubba Bolden was done for the year. That's a real shame, especially the way it happened. I mean, you don't like to see any players for that matter, opposing players or obviously even more so our own players get hurt. But to get hurt celebrating, man, that just breaks your heart. It just breaks your heart because it was just
and not just that,
unnecessary.
like the NCAA having them held hostage for like 4 games, and then you finally get to play, and then you're finally starting to get a groove with the team.
You make
you're making your big plays, first interceptions, and then boom, you come down with that kind of injury, that kind of freak injury. So, I mean, it sucks, man. It sucks, man.
Sucks.
But you know what? Prayers to Bubba for a speedy recovery, man. And
by the way, does anybody have any? Is it just the ankle, or was there a knee issue?
No, they're not. They're not.
I know they're not saying it. They're not saying. I tried to find out through sources and stuff.
No, but
I couldn't find out either.
But it was the ankle because of the boot that he was in. He didn't have nothing.
Nothing on his knee.
He didn't have nothing on that knee.
That's good.
So yeah.
Yeah, an ankle you can recover from and be just as good as ever. So yeah, I would like that. I'd like that. Get Wholesome and me out there coaching. I have a feeling put us at coordinators. We do our thing.
Just put me out there as a hype man or a water boy. I don't care. Do whatever you guys got to do to get me on the sideline. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Wholesome says must say publicly that Jaren 15 proved me wrong with his arm. Healthy, he's the answer. At quarterback, and I was completely wrong. I apologize to both of you. It's all good, man.
No apologies necessary.
No apologies needed.
One of the things that we talked about, man, is you have plenty of reason to be part of the Five Hive. You have plenty of reason because Nkosi has a ton of talent, and he's a different guy than he was last year. And I think anybody that doesn't realize that was missing the boat. And I'll tell you what. If anything, I mentioned this on the show we did last Saturday. A lot of you family can learn from those two kids.
No, go ahead, big. I'm laughing at Ibis. He says I'll be the dude that's holding the coach back on the sideline.
The way that those two young men, who are basically very young men, because I think Jaren I think is like 19 and Nkosi's 20. The way those two young guys have handled this whole situation should really teach Kane's family how to handle that situation, because a lot of Kane's family was bickering. I'm not talking, like I said on Saturday, I wasn't talking about the YouTubers, because I know Wholesome and Zoe and even Coach Coop, I think they were Nkosi guys. They were rooting for Jaren just as much when he was in the game. So I wasn't talking about them, but I'm talking about the guys on Twitter, some of the guys on comment and stuff like that. If they didn't agree on who should be the quarterback, man, it got nasty. It got nasty a little back and forth. And I think Jaren and Nkosi showed grown men a lesson on how to behave, because each one was each other's best cheerleader. Whenever Nkosi made a play, you saw Jaren jumping up and down. Whenever Jaren makes a play, Nkosi jumps up and down, is the first one to congratulate him. They showed that's the way Kane's family needs to be.
Yeah.
And so children actually leading the way, and they're basically kids. I mean, they're entering their manhood, basically. And they showed, because they both handled it with a tremendous amount of class, and they stayed together. So
yeah,
really proud of them.
Yeah, man. So this Saturday's big, and it's
broken
big
ankle curveball. It does require surgery. Curveball. Damn, I was hoping it didn't. The only thing is, what they're doing nowadays with the ankle, it actually makes it stronger after the surgery, because what they actually, I think they put a plate between where the bones meet, and it ends up making it better and stronger than it was before. So hopefully that's the case with Bubba, and he's ready to go next year at 100%.
Stacy, I did see your question. I know I took it off for a second, but I'm actually gonna segue into that right now. Talking about the Saturday, it's our last home game, homecoming. It's gonna be huge, man. But not just to build off of what we did, against FSU, and to keep on building and keep this momentum going. and for the team to keep showing us the progress that they're making, and them getting better each week. And hopefully they did turn that corner after that meeting, and then obviously going into Pitt, FSU, and to keep that momentum going, man. But I think it's an extra. Some extra motivation, man. You got Shaq playing his last home game. You got Pickney playing his last home game. You got Patchen. I mean, so you got that element to the game to it. Obviously, a lot of guys playing their last home game of the year for the University of Miami. But we got some big time recruits on campus as well, man. Not just obviously everybody knows the big name, Justin Flo, and Stacy's comment is actually about Justin Flo. But we got Harrell. Some more recruits, FSU guys that maybe we're going to be able to capitalize on with this whole Taggart, leaving the program or getting fired, sorry. And this dumpster fire that appears to be going on in FSU and Miami taking advantage of that in the recruiting department. So it's a big game for that. And it's just, to show these recruits that, okay, the back and forth that we saw, early on in the year, that wasn't this team. And I mean, and you see it, man. You see the offensive line coming together. I know everybody's talking about Jalen Williams and, Jeff Thomas, especially coming out of that game, D. Wiggins, Gregory Rousseau. The offensive line, frankly, I don't think has been, talked about as much as it should be, because, man, when they were doing bad, one of the only things that we were talking about was how bad the offensive line was. So I think it's only right that, they're not perfect. I'm not saying they're perfect, but you have
the run blocking. The run blocking is still concerning me,
right.
But the pass blocking is 80% better than it was, and that's a credit to them and Butch Berry.
Yeah. So I think I think that's big. But you got to keep on building on this momentum and show the recruits and give a reason why somebody like Justin Flo could be like, okay. I see what you guys might be doing here. I like the direction you're moving in. I would like to be part of that defense. So that'll be something pretty cool to show, the big time recruits that, hey, man.
And let's remember, Wholesome, in fact, talked about this, and I think Wholesome and I talked about it on that on the collab that we did. A big ups to Stephen Field, because let's remember that that's the best recruiter that we have, and that's who Justin Flo has been talking to all the time. He and Stephen Field have gotten close. Yeah. And that's a big, I'll tell you right now, if we do end up getting Justin Flo, as much as it is Miami and as much as it is the linebackers leaving and the swag and the turnover chain, which Justin Flo talked about, as much as it is all those things, is going to be that personal relationship that he has with Stephen Field.
Right.
And that's a biggie. That's a very big thing. So, I mean, would I put any amount of significant money on it that he comes to us? No. But at the same time, I wouldn't bet against it either. It's not like I would bet against it that I'm not sure that it's going to be a no, especially if we finish strong. And the fact that his brother also likes it, that we were really the first major school to offer his brother. Okay, listen, all those things help. All those things help. Now, does that mean it's going to carry the day? No, but we definitely have to finish out strong. And I think if we finish out and we win out, that's going to be huge for us in recruiting overall and specifically with Justin Flo.
Like, I'm not one that wants to get, especially when we've been talking about Justin Flo for quite some time. And, I'll be honest, me and the Big Dog are going to keep it 100% honest with you guys. We expected a much better season to start off with.
Correct.
So we expected to run away with the Coastal. We expected 1-2 losses at the most. Like, we saw the talent there, and that's why we started to feel pretty good about Justin Flo. And then obviously we got off to the start that we did, losing to Georgia Tech and losing to Virginia Tech, and you're just like, oh man. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any of the guys that, any of the high profile guys that we were gonna have a shot at and whatnot, Justin Flo being one of them. But I'll tell you what, man, you have this team. We still have our places where we need to improve. We still left points out on the field. Play calling, run blocking. Like you said, we need to be able to run the football, man.
Absolutely.
Because with this offense, and okay, guys, that's it. You know that Jaren could throw the deep ball. You know that he could put these players, D Wiggins, Jeff Thomas, whoever it may be, in a position to really exploit their speed and their talent. So Jaren could do that already. So we know what is possible for this offense, but one thing this offense is still missing is that having that established run game, man. Where
consistent
established run game will take this offense.
Right, where it's not 0 yards, -1, 2 yards. 50-yard run, -1, 2 yards. That's the thing that we need to start getting chunk runs. Start being able to run the ball right up the middle. Starting to be able to run the ball consistently where we're getting consistent yardage.
Man.
One of the things that I think is going to be big for our offense is staying ahead of the chains. And hopefully you will see that against Louisville on Saturday. When you get that first down run, and that first down run goes for 6 yards, your entire playbook is now open on 2nd and 4. And the defense doesn't know it has to be back on their heels.
Right.
Because if you run it again, you can get that first down. Okay. And it's a new set of downs. And if you can pass it deep, you can run play action. You can do all those things now that open up your playbook. But when that first down run goes for -1 or just a yard, you're looking at 2nd and 11, 2nd and 9. Now it's a whole different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to see is consistent running game. And guys, we got about 1,000 pounds of human being in between Donaldson, Corey Gaynor, and Ja'Kai Clark. I want them to be able to bully, just like they bullied in pass blocking, because they did a really good job in pass blocking last week. A good job picking up blitzes. DJ was amazing picking up blitzes. I want to see them focus on that run blocking and on pushing people around. I know for a fact Ja'Kai Clark has that edge. I know Corey Gaynor has that edge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a matter of DJ, Donaldson, and Zion to play with that edge and that chip of moving guys in the running game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I want to see. So if we're able to do that consistently, we're going to do a good job.
Stacy, what's crazy about because when you look up Justin Flo on 247, I think he's like 80% Clemson right now. And what's crazy to me is that they still have him 20% to USC.
Yeah.
So a crystal ball was selected for Justin Flo to go to USC.
He did say that he might visit USC.
But they weren't even in his top 4, big dog.
I know. They weren't in his top 4.
You had Oregon, you had Clemson, you had Georgia, you had Miami.
We have seen people go to schools that weren't in their top 4.
No, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
But no, your point is valid. Guys, I'm going to remind you, this is the comment that Justin Flo made. Now, mind you, he made this comment before the season started, before we had 4 losses. But Justin Flo did say before the season started that the school that was the leader for him was a school on the East Coast, but it's not who you think it is. Well, that to me was us all day long, because his top 4 was Georgia, Clemson, Oregon, and us. Clemson and Georgia would be the schools that you would think of.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was talking about that, it's not the school you think it is, that would lead us to think it was Miami. It was the leader. Now, 4 losses later, it might be different. So we shall see. A lot of football left to be played. And I think for us to have a realistic shot at Flo, I think it needs to be, we need to run the table. We need to run the table, and we're capable of doing it, but the point is not capable. We're not talking potential. Now we're talking production.
Just imagine.
And that's what it needs.
Just imagine, like, what the season could have turned into, man. Like 4-17. Like, just losing to Georgia Tech.
The missed kicks. All the missed kicks.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, it's a killer. But listen, it's like, what coaches, Logan, thank you.
$2 donation. You said Oregon.
Oregon. I wish the crystal ball was Oregon.
How you say Oregon or Oregon?
Oregon. It's Oregon.
I say Oregon.
I think I did say Oregon. Oregon.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you, Logan, for the donation. Woodboy, that's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. That was my favorite recruit of the 2019 class was Avery Huff. I'll tell you right now, that's going to be our starting weak side linebacker. It will be Avery Huff. And Avery Huff's a beast. Avery Huff is Woodway, I don't know how old you are, but the older guys are going to remember Jesse Armstead. That's who Avery Huff reminds me of, is Jesse Armstead.
Right.
And if it wasn't for the fact that he was an academic redshirt, he'd be tearing it up on special teams, and he'd be the one spelling Pigney.
Yeah. Hey, Aiden.
Huff is going to be a beast.
Aiden Chris says Atwell versus Trajan Bandy might not be good. I'll tell you what, man. I think I'm off that train already because we said the same thing against
Terry.
About Terry. We said the same thing.
4 catches for 40 yards for Terry. Nothing deep.
And against Florida.
Yeah.
We were talking about that as well. Oh, they're gonna pick on Bandy or whatnot. Yeah. Atwell doesn't have the size.
Grimes. They had Grimes, who's 6'5" for Florida.
And the thing about Atwell, he has the speed, but he doesn't have the size that we were scared of when it comes to these other bigger receivers. Maybe throwing up a ball and picking on Bandy because him being so short and whatnot. Atwell's basically the same size as Bandy. When it comes to height. So I'm not really too concerned, but I am. Louisville is not a cupcake game, and I just hope that this team is not taking it like a cupcake game. Defensively, I think we could really exploit Louisville, but I do think their offense can present some challenges for us, but nothing that we shouldn't be able to handle if our defense, keeps up, playing the way that they've been playing, frankly. So I think it's a game that. I don't know, man. I want to see like a decisive win. Like that's it.
I hate to say this because Louisville's much better than they were last year, and they're a solid team. So I'm not taking anything away from them. But this game, we're playing against the Miami Hurricanes. That's who we're playing this game.
Right.
Because this is the team maintaining that same intensity after beating down FSU in Talacrappy, maintaining that same intensity on senior day, on the last home game that we're having for our seniors and for the season, even though technically I know we play FIU, but we play FIU at Marlins Park. So this is the last game at Hard Rock for the seniors, unless we play in a bowl game at the Hard Rock, which I don't think we will. But this is the team proving that intensity waning back and forth is a thing of the past. That the players have learned that potential and preparation has to meet production.
Yeah,
we'll find that out at about 4 o'clock on Saturday, because we'll know pretty quick if this team is ready to be the same team that they were a week ago.
Yeah,
and a couple of guys had mentioned that they do remember, like Richard Hill and Utah Kane was saying that those are big shoes, and I usually don't like comparing young players to guys that did it the way Jesse Armstead did. The reason why is, if you guys get a chance, go in our library and see the breakdown, the video breakdown that we did on Avery Huff, and you'll see why that he reminds me so much of Jesse Armstead. Same long arms, same angular body, same type of athletic ability, because Jesse Armstead was a beast of an athlete. Avery Huff, to me, just from the moment I first started watching tape on him when he was still at St. Thomas, I went, oh man, that's who this guy reminds me of, is Jesse Armstead. And I'll tell you what, the fact that he's an academic redshirt, people have forgotten about him a little bit, and that dude's going to be our starting weak side linebacker. I totally believe that.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
And Kingdom Consciousness, he says he laughed at Telecrappy. Kingdom, great point on your part, talking about Jordan Miller. Guys, every time Jordan Miller's in the game, he jumps off the screen at you.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy has forced his way onto the rotation. And I'll tell you what, people don't realize how strong Jordan Miller is. He's the strongest cane that we have. And that guy's going to break weightlifting records at Miami when he's done, when it's all said and done. He's still a sophomore. Actually, technically, I think he's a redshirt freshman. Still, that's right. He's a redshirt freshman because he didn't play for more than 4 games last year.
Who was this?
Jordan Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, technically, he's still a redshirt freshman. And Miller is a beast. And that's a guy who's going to be solid in that defensive line rotation the rest of the time he's at Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lito, that definitely looks like it. That definitely looks like linebackers.
That actually answers who's the one that asked the question about what position Avery Huff is going to play. I don't see
weak
it now,
side.
man.
Yeah, Avery's a weak side
Oh,
linebacker
there you
all day
go,
long.
Lakers. Yeah, he says it's Justin Flo, middle linebacker, and Sam, outside linebacker. What position will Avery Huff play?
Avery Huff will be a weak side. They're trying to actually make Sam Brooks a Mike. They're
Yeah,
trying to make him a Mike. And remember, Sam Brooks played defensive end in high school, so he's learning that position. And that's one of the reasons Logan with the donation. Thank you, Logan, so much. He says, hit that like button. Thank you, Logan. And thank you for the
appreciate you, Logan,
donation.
man. Thank you.
Yes, guys, please
Family
hit
vibes.
if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. Yeah, I
For
would love to have Justin Flo Lakers all day. Oh my God. That would be
Man,
that linebacking crew is scary.
big dog.
And,
Okay, let's just say, all right, let's speak
and that's
hypothetically.
not even talking about Tyreek Austin Cave, who I like quite a bit. Corey Flagg is an overachiever, but he's a guy who's a good program guy. And Alvin Mathis, we got some ballers coming in at linebacker.
Big dog. How far back? Oh no, I can't. Let's just say we land Justin Flo. When
He's the starting middle linebacker.
No, obviously. Come on. I'm saying, if he commits to the University of Miami, when's the last time you could point to a recruit committing to the University of Miami that made you as excited as Justin Flo will make you if he?
I have to admit, Lingard got me every bit as excited. Cheney has me excited like that.
Yeah, okay, but that's different because those were foreseen to a certain extent.
Oh, okay, because right, because they both committed early.
Right.
Oh, I got you. That we got a late commit like that. That would be not a late commit, but a commit that would near the signing day. Right.
This caliber.
Oh man, that'd be tough.
Because I can't think of one.
Yeah, it'd be tough. When did Tracy Howard commit? Those guys, if you remember that he committed early in the process, I'm thinking Tracy Howard committed later.
Dante says DJ Williams.
Yeah, but DJ committed fairly. Well, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, DJ, it wasn't that early. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dante, that's a good one right there.
Yeah,
that's an absolutely. And he was also from Cali, and DJ was also from Cali. So,
yeah,
Nesta. But Nesta was repping that Wholesome pretty solid throughout. So it wasn't like that was a surprise. It was a surprise that we kept him because all of the other St. Thomas guys were going other places and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was surprising that we kept him.
Yeah.
I say St. Thomas American Heritage.
But DJ
was from Cali
on signing day for Tracy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Huckoff. Huckoff says he reminds him a little bit of Rohan Marley, Corey Flagg. That I can see that. I can see that. That's a pretty good. I mean, Corey's bigger than that. I mean, I know he's small. He's short for a linebacker, for a middle linebacker, for a linebacker period. But Rohan was even shorter. But I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Jalen Phillips is a defensive end. He's not going to be a linebacker.
Yeah, you have him listed as an outside linebacker, Leonard, but he's a defensive end all day long.
Greg Rousseau better than Chase Young. It's so that gets me so excited, man. The fact that
here's the thing: there is not a guy who's anywhere near the top 10 in sacks who isn't a senior or a junior. And Greg Rousseau is a redshirt freshman. Frankly, I don't think it's even. Yeah, Tracy Howard was a bust. I don't think it's even a comparison. Because you're looking at a guy like Greg Rousseau, who's a redshirt freshman, who's only started since the sixth game of the year. For him to be up there and look at the difference in tackles. Not only is he right up there with him in sacks, Rousseau has considerably more tackles. At the very least, if they were both juniors, I think it's arguable. The fact that Rousseau's a redshirt freshman and is doing that, I think he's the best player in the country, frankly. Rousseau. Absolutely, dude. You're looking at this kid is a redshirt freshman, and he's basically been playing defensive end for a year.
Yeah, fix your mic, big dog. Put it. I think you think you hit your mic, or you're good.
I'm good.
No, there you go. Now you're good.
Okay, he's been playing defensive end for a year, and this young man is doing what he's doing. I'm not taking anything away from Chase Young. Chase Young could very well be the first pick in the draft, and he's a beast, and I hope the Dolphins get him. So don't misinterpret this. I'm not taking, it's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If you tell me my consolation prize is Chase Young, I'm cool with that. And if you tell me the consolation prize is Greg Rousseau, I'm cool with that. So, let's not get it twisted.
When you're talking about ceiling, man, I think that's when people start making those comparisons and whatnot, because you just see that this is not even the
What
best.
ceiling does Greg Rousseau have?
That's my point. Like, where is the ceiling for Rousseau?
There is no ceiling. You're looking at a guy who's 6'6".
Oh, Brian, 100% he's gone after next year. Yeah. There is no way that Rousseau stays in another year after next year.
Frankly, Brian, I don't see.
I
don't see any reason why he would.
You're pretty much guaranteed being a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. So like, why are you gonna stay? Yeah. I mean, like, what are you gaining from staying another year when you're basically assuming he stays healthy? Assuming everything is fine for next year. Knock on wood. I mean, come on, man. You're talking about a guy that in how many games has a chance at the sack record for the University of Miami?
Yeah.
Like, and if you don't get it this year, Greg, I mean, he's probably gonna get it next year. And let's just say we get Garvin back. Let's just say so. Then I mean, it's so crazy. Our defensive line come next year. Even if Garvin leaves, I mean, I'm gonna miss Garvin because I think he's a heck of a player, and he's gonna be playing on Sundays, no doubt. But just looking at what we have coming in addition to what we already have on his defensive line, guys, the future's bright for our defensive line. I will say that.
Oh my God! Next year, could you imagine that Jalen Phillips and Greg Rousseau both coming off the end? Mm-hmm. If you're a quarterback or an offensive coordinator, do you call anything other than something that's really, really quick?
Like, that's crazy to me, man. It's just crazy to me. Like,
that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to watch.
I just hope that the Dolphins continue to do very, very bad next year, and then you look at.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk. I'm going to look up the single season sack record.
I think it's 17, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's 17, but whatever. Let's just say, hopefully the Dolphins could get the second pick. Let's just say the Bengals get the first pick. You guys need a quarterback really, really bad. So take Tua or Burrows or whoever you want. And then the Dolphins select Chase Young and then, beef up the O-line a little bit. And then the following year, we're terrible once again. And then we draft Rousseau. So then we can have Chase Young on one side and Rousseau on the other side. What do you guys think?
That could get you a Super Bowl right there.
That would be sick. You imagine? I mean, that's a lot of people were thinking about how crazy it was going to be. Yeah, it is 17.
Hey, do you have the Bluetooth set up?
No, big dog, I do not.
Okay, because Wholesome was going to come on to talk about Flo. Do you have offered the degree that Flo wants? Buddy, good question. I believe that he does because Justin Flo talked about that. And Buddy, thank you so much for the donation. He did talk about academically Miami, and thank you guys for looking it up for me. The 17 is a single season record. That's amazing. That's amazing, man.
Yes, 12. So draft me Burrow.
No, I know Leonard, people are comparing him to Calais. It's a different thing though, and I hate to do this, but that's who I said this.
You imagine
from before. The guy that Rousseau reminds me of is really Javon Curse. That's who he reminds me of. And I hate to compare him to a Gator, but when I saw Rousseau in high school, that's the first thing that came to me was, oh man, that guy's like Javon Curse all over again. And
I don't think he's gonna be that. Javon Curse was swole though, man.
Dude, he's a redshirt freshman still.
I know,
look at what he's gained. He's 260 right now, shredded.
But that's my point. Like, you gain any more, I mean, you're gonna have to be what? Like, how much more is he gonna be able to gain? He's gonna be what, 280?
He'll be every bit of 280 when he goes into the draft.
That's insane.
But that's what he's gonna be.
Oh yeah,
and not lose any of the agility.
Oh my God,
dude! When I got angry because they were putting him in,
Jake Long was actually a good pick. 247. The thing that happened with Jake Long is that he started to get some injuries and whatnot. Yeah. But
when
Jake
he played well.
When we drafted Jake Long, we did that draft. I think that was a good pick. Now, well, I think our worst one recently was Dion Jordan, right? That's his name, right?
Oh yes, that was a
We
huge
moved
move.
up to get Dion Jordan at like number 4 in the
Yeah,
draft.
and
I
I
forgot
thought
what year it was.
we were moving up to get Lane Johnson, who I
Oh
wanted
my
to get.
goodness,
I
man,
got
it was
all excited. I
terrible.
called up Junior, and we were like, "Watch, we're gonna get one of those tackles, dude. Oh, we're gonna get Lane Johnson." And then he picks Dion Jordan. I'm like, "What the hell was he doing?"
Yeah.
Um, Anthony had a good question about moving Bandy to the slot. Anthony, I mean, he's played it somewhat, and I think that once
Harris hasn't shown me nothing though, bro. Yet.
who's that?
Charles
Charles Harris.
Harris.
Yeah,
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 so many. Yeah.
yeah. I don't see prime time pass rusher with Charles Harris. The thing with Bandy is, I think if the team had fourth and fifth corners, I think they would have done that already. That anytime that we had three corners in the game, Bandy would be the slot, and DJ Ivy and Blades would be outside, which we have done on occasion. But I think he's still going to play. I think at the next level, that's where he's going to be as a slot. So,
Yeah, me too. Me too, James. That's an interesting question, big dog. Best quarterback in the draft next year. Who you got? Assuming everybody's healthy,
if I had to pick one,
you gotta pick what? You're the Dolphins. You're on the clock. You got the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm not. Forget about like, oh no, you shouldn't go. You could draft a quarterback because the Dolphins got the Steelers pick. No. Just the best quarterback in the draft right now.
okay, number one, I'd have to go Justin Herbert.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the problem is Tua gets hurt way too much for my liking, and he rarely gets touched with that offensive line, and he gets banged up every time he gets touched.
He does, man. He does.
Burrow 247 Burrow is a possibility for sure. That he was in when I'm trying to balance them all out. He was in there.
Jaron Williams. Holston said Jaron Williams. Now that's the following year, Holston.
The following year for him and Trevor Lawrence will be in that class. I'm hoping Jaron stays an additional year though. Hopefully he'll stay another year. But yeah, baby Shaq, I'm with you. I could almost flip a quarter between those two, between Herbert and Burrow. Man, it just the one thing that scares me a little bit with Burrow, as much as he's lighting it up this year, he really wasn't lighting it up like that at all last year. And yeah, they have a really good system in place. LSU has a lot of talent at the skill positions. I worry going on a bad team if Burrow could do as much as Herbert. You know, yeah. If they swap places, what would Herbert be doing at LSU and what would Burrow be doing at Oregon? So
we got a $5 Logan, thank you so much, man, for the donation. He's like, sadly, I gotta go soon, 4-day weekend, and the boys are arriving soon to celebrate. That's what's up, man. Hopefully I can make it in. Awesome, Logan, man. Hey, have a good time with the fellas, man, and enjoy, brother. Jacob Eason, take Herbert. Yeah, I think
if I had to pick one, I if you put a gun to my head, I'll take Eason. Eason's interesting, but I take Herbert. I take Herbert over Eason. I put Hurts down maybe closer to the Tua area. The thing with Hurts is the thing that makes him such a good college player is that he's a power runner, and you're not going to be a power runner at quarterback in the NFL. You know, that's the thing. So, but yeah, rigor mortis brings a point. If I have the number 1 pick, I'm not going QB. I'm really not.
No, I'm going to.
Roel is asking me about Fromm. Roel, I do like Fromm, but Fromm is one of those guys I'd probably take if I was in the late first round. Maybe even I don't think he'll last to the second. I mean, he's been on a very, very good team, and some of the problems that they've had in the passing game have been. I mean, listen, Lawrence Cagers is their best receiver, which sort of tells you what type of struggles they've had at receiver this year. But I put Fromm a tick behind Herbert, Burrow type of area. So, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Jack. I would probably take Hurts before Tua too. I would. And I
Hey,
tell you what, in intangibles, you're not going to find a better dude than Jalen Hurts.
yeah. Ian McAllister says Cam Newton is a power runner in the NFL.
Yeah, but that's hey, but Ian, but look, Cam is getting close to done. He's 30 years old, and Cam is a much bigger dude than Jalen.
Yeah.
You know, Cam is all of 6'5", 260, and Jalen is not anywhere near that big.
Yeah.
He's strong though, but
From, I think I wouldn't put From in the same category with Herbert or
no, I put him a tick behind Herbert and Burrow.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I kind of like. But see, that's my point. Like, I don't want to reach. There isn't a quarterback, okay, for me that I'm like. If Trevor Lawrence is in this draft, I'm like, I don't want the Dolphins winning any games. You know, please, like it'll be like a suck for luck deal.
No,
like, everybody needed to get Andrew Luck. Like Trevor Lawrence is gonna be that kind of quarterback next year.
Right.
This year, I don't see that quarterback.
No. And it used to be tanking for Tua.
I see a lot of
and Tua showed how brittle he is behind a really good line.
I see a lot of quarterbacks in this draft that could be very good, but I can't say that I'm looking at this and be like, oh man, this guy could be like special. You know,
right.
That has me convinced 100%.
You might have Herbert or Burrow both could turn out to be special.
They could,
but you're right. But they're not that slam dunk number one pick. I want that dude.
Like there is no question. Like I'm sorry. Like when Andrew Luck came out, there was no,
everybody knew that was the number one pick. Right,
that was the number one pick in the draft.
Right.
You know, so I don't know, man. Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be a good pro. I don't know, 247. I know he's struggling a little bit this year.
Yeah, this year has scared me a little bit. His decision making has really scared me this year because he has made some really poor decisions.
Yeah,
you know. But the thing is, he also can make throws that are just tremendous throws. You know, so that's the thing. I mean, he's going to have another year at college, so he can't leave until after next season.
Right.
So let's see how he comes back. Or how he gets better towards the end of this season, because I've seen him a lot this year and he hasn't impressed me. I think he's taking a step back this year.
And Brian, that's something I would love for the Dolphins to do if Chase Young is off the board. Depending on where the Dolphins are in the draft, like let's say they get maybe, the third pick, and then you got the Bengals, and then you got the Redskins, ahead of you, and then the Bengals select whatever, Joe Burrow, and then the rest can select Chase Young. In that position, there's not a player at number 3 in this draft yet that at least based on, we're still talking about a ways ahead of us. So I haven't really dug deep into the players that are going to be available and whatnot. But at that number 3 spot, man, if Chase Young is off the board, and I would love to trade down. Guess.
The Dolphins need a lot of help. A lot of help in a lot of places. So, be honest with you, I'd rather just keep trading down and getting picks.
Yeah, but if Chase Young is there,
no. If Chase Young is there, that's a generational type talent,
right?
And, so you got to take him. Okay, but the fact is, if he's not there, man, I just keep trading down and getting picks.
That's my point. Yeah, I'm with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, man. So you want to start diving into some of the because we could talk Q&A? About the NFL all day.
Yeah. Let's do some Q&A.
Oh, Alex says he's no, not some Q&A or some. Wait, what is it? I'm sorry. No,
so breakdown of the Louisville game.
Louisville game, if you want. I think Alex said that he's a Redskins fan and Haskins sucks. By the way, for sure, Skins are getting young. 100%, Alex.
Alex, my fear with Haskins going in, and you remember the Dolphins could have picked him when we picked when we went Christian Wilkins. The thing with Haskins is he has really bad feet, really bad feet. And if he has a clean pocket, there's not a more accurate quarterback than Dwayne Haskins, because you're talking about a guy that could put it, pick out the window, and he could fit it into any window. The problem is, if you move him off the spot, then he's not accurate at all. And that's the thing with Haskins. that he really, really somebody has to work with him and get a really good QB coach to help him speed up his feet.
Yeah.
That's the thing with him.
Puck off. Miami is not picking first right now because they, in the NFL,
Right now,
whoever has the worst record picks first, and then it
the
goes like that.
Bengals right now will be the first pick, and I think right now we have the tiebreaker over the Jets because the Jets have one loss. I mean, one win also. Man, I don't know. Let's see what ends up happening. I still have hope that we have the first pick.
Yeah. Dan Kane says, "Big dog, what do you think about Clemson being fifth in the?"
I understand. I do understand to an extent why they did that. But the thing is, if they're going to do that, then why isn't Ohio State first? Because as much as you guys know, I dislike Ohio State. Best team in college football thus far this year has been Ohio State.
No, they do have Ohio State first.
I thought they had Bama first.
No, it's Ohio State.
They had Ohio State first? I thought they had Ohio State second.
No, they have Ohio State first. They got LSU number 2. They got Bama 3, and they got Penn State 4.
Okay. That makes
correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, that's going to work itself out. And if Clemson wins all the way through,
LSU and Bama are playing this weekend. So
exactly, LSU and Bama are playing this weekend.
Ohio State and Penn State
are playing down the line. Exactly. So it doesn't really matter this early. But so far this year, the best team I've seen play is Ohio State.
Oh, it hurts for you to say that, huh?
I hate it. I hate to say that, but that's the fact, though. They are the best team I've seen this year.
Yeah, and Clemson with that close game with North Carolina, man. I think.
And Trevor Lawrence has played spotty at different times.
Yeah.
That's been scary. Travis at the end. Listen, Travis at the end. People forget.
Exactly, boy.
He was a Heisman candidate, and now he's not. And it's because he hasn't been what they thought of after the good start that he had. Yeah. So Clemson's shown some chinks in the armor, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. So, everything, if Clemson just takes care, and I think they said it in a thing, this is the best thing that could have happened to Dabo, because Dabo's could now feed the whole, they don't respect this thing and this and that. Listen, man, you're Clemson. Just take care of business. And that's it. You're gonna be in. Doesn't matter.
You're gonna be in. That's if anything. If I was Dabo, I'd be thankful that happened because it makes the players pissed off.
Unless, hear me out on this one, big dog. Clemson will get in the college football playoff unless, all right, Virginia loses one more game.
Doesn't matter.
Pittsburgh loses one more game.
Unless
Virginia Tech loses 2 more games. The Canes get into the ACC championship. The Canes beat Clemson, and then Clemson doesn't get into the college football playoff.
There you go. That's true. There you go. Yeah, but if Clemson ends up unbeaten, they're in. So that's what they care about. And if anything, they probably did them a favor because Dabo can use it for motivation. Anthony Manzano had a question for me in terms of Bob Stoops possibly going to FSU. My understanding, and I heard this from Bob Stoops himself, so it wasn't through Wholesome. I didn't forget. I saw your message, buddy. He doesn't have the Junior doesn't have the Bluetooth set up. Anthony, my understanding, I did hear this from Bob Stoops himself, said that he is not a candidate for the FSU job. So take that for what it's worth. I do know that Vince McMahon threw some money Bob Stoops' way with the XFL. And they're serious about making the XFL a spring league. And let's see what ends up happening. But I don't think Stoops is going to be the man for FSU. I'm thinking you're going to see Stoops in the XFL, and I'm seeing a second-tier guy taking over at FSU. I don't think they'll get a first-tier guy. Mark Stoops is different. But Mark Stoops, you had other teams make runs at him. At Kentucky, shoot, I'd almost rather have Bob Stoops at FSU than Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops would scare me a little bit more because he's done a pretty good job at Kentucky and he's recruited well. Yeah, Mark Stoops is possible. Lane Kiffin supposedly said he's not interested, but knowing Lane Kiffin's track record, if he says something, believe the opposite. But Mark Stoops is I think that would be a possibility. That would be a possibility, and Stoops would he'd do a good job there. So I wouldn't be thrilled with Mark Stoops going to FSU.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's going good. I mean, so I don't know. Yeah, James Market. Yeah,
Yeah, me too, Dante. Yeah, you're right. Haskins needs footwork. You know what I do, Dante? If I was Haskins, I train with a boxer. Seriously, train boxing because that'll teach him not just a jump rope and stuff like that. That would really help him with his footwork because that's what hurts Haskins is he has really bad and slow feet. And if you make him move his feet, that accuracy goes to hell.
yeah. Junior is now oh, sorry. To take college. Wait. Oh man,
That was dreadlock.
he said Junior is not what the calls. Big Dog is already the star. Then if you take calls, Junior will just be the it guy.
The IT guy. Yeah.
IT guy.
Yeah, no.
That's true. Yeah.
Junior's the one. Junior's the one that sets it up.
I didn't have it set up, man, and frankly, I was running late today, man. So like, I just got as soon as I jumped on and I invited Big Dog. Like, yeah, I was running around, so I wasn't able to set anything up. And
Oh wow. Chug Mo Beer with a huge donation, dude.
more beer, man. Thank you so much, man.
Partner, thank you so much.
Great show, guys. The Cane need to stay focused the rest of the year. Play every game like the FS Who game. And Junior, are you going to the game Saturday? Go Canes for life. Some more beer, nah, man. I'm not gonna be going to the game, unfortunately, this Saturday, man. But I know you are. And we are going to meet, my friend. We'll probably gonna have to wait until next year because I haven't forgot about the Dominoes. All right, and I'm gonna take you up on your offer.
Oh man, the Dominoes table.
Yeah, last time we were
hell yeah,
different sides of the stadium and whatnot. But so yeah, HM Beer, man. Thank you so much again for the dono and for
that goes to those twins, Chugwell Beer. Thank you so much, partner.
Absolutely,
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
All right, you want to go do some breakdowns of Louisville?
Junior is going in spirit. Yeah, I'll be out there in spirit, man. I'll be out there in spirit. Yeah.
Let's do some breakdowns. Guys, for you guys to know, Scott Satterfield is the Louisville coach. He was the coach at Appalachian State. So you guys will remember. Take care, Hurricane Logan. Thank you, partner. He was the coach at Appalachian State. So if you guys remember the system, they're basically running the same system. They are the traditional big run. They are very creative with the way that they run the ball, and then they want to get you overplaying the run and then hit the ball deep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's basically their offensive philosophy. Okay, so defensively, it's going to be important that we run the ball, that we win the time of possession, so we don't get our defense gassed, and that way we can focus on stopping that run and then playing too deep safety, not letting things go over our head. So if we're able to do that, then we can control them offensively, and then control their offense. And then on ours, when we have the ball, we have to dominate the time of possession and run the ball and keep our defense fresh, and then hit some shots with Jaron. But go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Birmingham. Kane. I'm sorry, Big Dog. I don't want to repeat some of the things you said, but I tuned out there.
No. I was just talking about overview. I'm just talking about you give the specifics. I was just giving you an overview on terms of what we have to do strategy wise, offensively and defensively.
Oh, okay.
But you can go ahead and go into specifics.
Chimo Beer, see the tables. I was waiting for you, Junior. Go Canes. Yeah, man, for sure. Like I said though, man, I can't Chimo Beer. I can't get there, and I can't have you on my right. All right, I don't want to disrespect. So I'm gonna need to have you, on my left.
Oh,
if not, then I'm not gonna.
He won't get to play.
I'm not gonna be invited back. If you're on my right. So
Chugbo Beer, you heard him.
I don't want that to happen, dude.
He's talking the talk. now he can't walk the walk though. Like today, I played domino with him plenty, and he can walk the walk.
What we got to do is you got
to get me down there too.
Yeah, hey man.
Well, I'm going to go down there for the babies. So hopefully, hey, Chuck Bull Beer, hopefully we can get together because I'm going to go down to Florida when his wife goes into labor and then spend some time with him down there.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be down there. We can get together, play some dominoes.
Talk is cheap. I know it is. I know. I'm just playing, man. I'm not playing about you. You on my right. I'm just playing about the trash talking. It's all in love and it's all good, man. But I could play some dominoes. But I got you. I'm gonna take you up, Chuck Beer.
Yeah, Wholesome. Put Wholesome's comment up there. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Wholesome.
The Finley RDEs and corners must keep contained and force things back inside.
Yeah, to our linebackers. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we need to do against their running game. And I think we will. I mean, we did a really good job against App State against their running game when we played them. And I think we will. We're doing an overall pretty decent, with rare exceptions here and there. We've done a decent job against the run. But go ahead, dude. You want go ahead and get to the specifics.
Speaking of the run, when it comes to Louisville, so they run the ball the majority of the time, man. 62.5%, which ranks 13th. When it comes to
most of the FBS, right?
In FBS, yards per rush 4.5, 57th. Rushes per game 45, 13th. Obviously, rushes per game 205.
Rushing yards per game,
right? So and the quarterback, it felt good having Hornerbrook in there because he wasn't much of a threat to run, but I mean we are gonna have a threat to run this weekend, frankly. Yeah. So we're gonna have to get back into spying and making sure to keep contained on the quarterback because Malik Cunningham could run the football. Matter of fact, he has 61 rushes already on the year for 313 yards and 4 TDs. And when it comes to passing, listen, he doesn't have crazy stats that jump out at you, but he does have a completion percentage of 61. On 86 attempts, and he has 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on 1,000 yards for the season passing. So, Hawkins, the running back, he's the one that gets the ball the most back there. He's 165 attempts for 887 yards and 6 touchdowns. Hassan Hall gets the ball, a little bit as well. He has 78 attempts for 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. A lot of run, man. They're gonna be running the football quite a bit against us. So Wholesome's point is is well taken there, man. We got to keep contained and make sure we don't get hit for any big runs. I did see some highlights and whatnot, and I know you don't see that much of the full picture on the highlights when it comes to games, but they move a lot pre-snap.
Yeah, and the QB is fast.
Yeah, but they do move a lot pre-snap, and they try to use the defense and whatnot. So, you gotta be disciplined in your assignments. Be disciplined in the game plan that the coaches are setting forth for you, and just be getting to the football and tackling. Man, we can't have any shoestring tackles or one. Arm tackles. These guys could
run to the ball and keep contained. That's absolutely what Wholesome was saying. We need to keep contained, force them back inside, force them back into our linebackers, maintain our rush lanes. Don't let them break that. And like you were saying, I'd actually like to see a lot of 2 deep safety, take away the long off them, play press underneath, but then make sure that we contain, and get them behind the chains.
Yeah.
If we can get them behind the chains and then beware of the draw, we'll shut down their offense.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, man. When I'm talking, I just leave the chat alone. 247 said Junior Party holds on to the 99.
I saw that. Yeah, Mark Dudley was saying that it looks like that I got a Swisher Sweet. Actually, you know what? I used to smoke Marlboro 100s, and the Views Vibe is what I use, and that actually stopped me from smoking cigarettes. So, and even though this thing isn't the greatest thing for you, it's better than smoking the Cowboy Killers. So,
yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah,
Lakers all day says with Bubba hurt, big dog.
Yeah, I mean that's going to. I mean, I really, even though people have talked about putting Keontra Smith in
Have a
our
good night, Alex, man. Thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you, Alex. And I did see your comment about the speed, man. And then I want to get to Dante. Dante had a real good comment in terms um of this game, and the need to stay aggressive offensively. That when Manny talks about hitting yardage, which has been really good because of Lewis Headley and what we've done on special teams, it hasn't, other than the kicking, obviously, it hasn't been that can't take the place of offense, meaning you still need to stay aggressive and not do like we did with FSU, get conservative there in the third quarter. And I agree with that.
There you go.
I think Lakers, what you're going to see is predominantly a 3-man rotation with Gervin, Amari Carter, and Robert Knowles. I don't think we'll see a ton of Keontra Smith. Now, we see him some on the field. Yeah, we will. And I think he's earned a little bit of playing time. But I think we're going to stick with 3 guys there for the most part. And those are the 3 that we're going to see at safety. It'll be Gervin, Amari Carter, and Robert Knowles. So.
And I'll tell you what, man. I don't feel like I did. I think we alluded to it on our last live stream. I don't feel as bad, or I'm not as worried as I once was with Robert Knowles. He's solid, man, and frankly,
hands down, as much as the quarterbacks have improved, if I said right now, give the most improved award, who do you give it to? Breakout award, obviously, you got to give it to Greg Rousseau. But in terms of most improved, who would you give the award to?
Oof. Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for Knowles.
You could absolutely make a case for Knowles.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not saying that that's necessarily who would be the winner, but he'd definitely be top.
No, but you can make a case for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 for 7 says Robert Knowles, Gervin Hall. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, Dan, me too. We haven't had a TD return yet this season. But man, it's been nice having the punter that we've had. I mean, that dude has really made a difference, has made all the difference in the world. And I do think we'll have him for at least another year, maybe 2, hopefully 2. Before I think he'll end up in the league also.
Wholesome says Shaq for most improved.
You would put Shaq at most improved?
I think he's had a stretch here of a
few
games.
He has. The last 2 games, Shaq has stepped up, no doubt.
You've seen a different Shaq, but but you gotta give it up to Knowles, man. You gotta give it up to DJ Ivy, 247.
I think DJ has been spot. He's definitely been much improved the last couple of games, for sure, after the Georgia Tech game. But he's been spotty. The thing with Knowles is from the beginning of the year, that dude has been solid. And I said this, in terms of doing your job in the secondary, the guy that we've been able to count on the most is Robert Knowles. Now, he's never going to be the player that Gervin Hall is. He's never going to be the player that Bubba Bolden is. But what he has done is every time that he's the last player, he's held that down. Every time he needs to make the open field tackle, he's gotten the guy on the ground. He has been solid from beginning. And Eddie, don't feel bad, man. There was a lot of people in that corner with Knowles, and I appreciate you manning up and saying that you were wrong. Listen, I didn't like some of the extreme animosity that he attracted, but the fact is, Robert Knowles made a lot of mistakes before this year, and a lot of bad things happened when he came into games, and that's going to turn people that way. So you weren't alone in that at all, Eddie. But the thing is, this year, man, he's been solid. He has been solid, and that's a pleasure to see for a young man who's worked really, really hard. Romeo Finley, I think he's just been as good as he was last year.
Yeah.
I think Romeo was a baller last year too.
And you could even make a case that he
hasn't been as dominant as he was last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could even
I think he's been playing banged up. And not to defend him. Yeah. Finley looks like he's been playing a little banged up this year, to me. And I've seen him get up slow after tackles a couple of times. He looks like he's a little bit banged up. Army K, no, I think they're going to start Gervin Hall and Amari Carter. And then Knowles. The good thing with Knowles is, much like Hall, I think he can actually play both positions, both safety positions. So, and that's a big positive to have when you have a 3-man rotation like that. Is having one guy that could play two, and we probably have two guys that could do that. Although I think they're going to want to keep Gervin at the free.
Dante says we need to head to the little tough emphasis each time he touches the ball, make him think about his catches. Yeah. I mean, he has 40 receptions, 664 yards, and 7 touchdowns on the year. So he's definitely the one that gets targeted the most. Their taller receivers is Des Fitzpatrick, who's 6'2", and Seth Dawkins, who's 6'3", but their most dynamic receiver is definitely Atwell. Fitzpatrick only has not only, I mean, he does have 5 touchdowns, but he has 25 receptions for 481 yards. And Dawkins, who's 6'3", has 14 receptions for 283 and 2 touchdowns. So
Chuck Bobrier said if Brevin doesn't play, who will get the snaps, Mallory or Irvin? Chuck Bobrier, it'll be Mallory gets Irvin will play a lot more than he has, but Mallory will get a majority of those snaps. And don't be surprised if you see Palinde in there quite a bit, especially in situations where we need his blocking. Palinde is quite a blocker, so. And we might even see Larry Hodges some too. But Mallory's the one that would benefit the most if Brevin can't play.
Yeah.
247 wants a cigar recommendation. 247. Yeah. I am Cohiba all day long. And now I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I damn sure smoke cigars. So I love a Cohiba. I know people say Montecristo, but I'm going to pick a Cuban cigar. But but Cohibas are. I love Cohibas. I've actually, contributed to the horrible communism that they have in Cuba by, getting some Cuban cigars here and there throughout my life. So, but I love Cohibas. I don't like I'll smoke them, the Dominican Cohibas, but I like the Cuban Cohibas. So, Mike, Mallory has been a disappointment. He has been, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 247, you just have to know peeps. I used to know peeps. I don't know. Living in Ohio for 11 years, I don't know peeps anymore. But Mike, he has been a disappointment. What I have liked about Mallory is he hasn't let his lack of usage in the passing game. He hasn't let it affect him blocking wise, because he's a much better blocker than he was last year. And I do think he'll do a good job filling in if Brevin can't play. I'm sorry, what was Jay's question, Brayon? I didn't see it. Put up Jay's question up there.
I'm scrolling. I'm trying. I answer Dan's question on the thing. Oh, that was to the chat, though. So I didn't know if Jay wanted to present that to us, or because he said question to the chat room. Would you hire Willie Taggart as an aide to recruiting department?
For us?
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good recruiter. He's been a decent recruiter. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't know I don't think that's a job he would take, because he does have that $17 million buyout. I don't know how much he loses if he takes another job, or when he takes another job. But I mean, that's the thing, 247, is that I don't know if that's the best person. I wouldn't hire him just to hire him, but I don't know if that's the best one we could get. But he's been a good recruiter.
Hey, 247 Canes, Big Nasty Kane 305 just recommended a really good one. I've actually smoked them before, or the Romeo y Julieta cigar.
Yeah, I like Romeo y Julieta too.
Those are some good cigars as well. So
yeah, I like.
We got Wholesome says yes. 247 says no to Taggart. Eddie the Kane, no. Some very emphatic no's that we're getting for Willie Taggart.
Yeah. That's become a thing also that's gotten out of control with Twitter. The problem is, guys, this is something that I've seen it throughout. I mean, it even happened with the Hurricanes and the QB situation. Is that there could be multiple things be true at the same time, and then what happens is, if one person is on one side of the argument and all they focus on is the side of the argument that benefits them, and then the other person does the same, that's when things get heated, because then there's no understanding of other points of view. And the Willie Taggart situation, there's a whole bunch of things that are true at the same time. And I think that's where some of the animosity gets ramped up. And I'd like to diffuse it because there's a lot of layers to the whole thing of Willie Taggart and what happened at FSU. There's a whole lot of layers that are true on either side of the argument on how you come down. So,
what was I gonna say? How do you feel about that question, Julian the Big Dog, about Taggart and
it
recruiting?
was a solid question, Jay. Completely.
Yeah, I mean,
And at the end of the day, anything that we can do to improve our recruiting department is definitely we look into. Now, I don't know who else would be out there for them to also hire. Now, traditionally, what we've done with that job is like DeMarcus Van Dyke, guys that have roots, and that I still like to see, especially younger guys like that are breaking into the business, like Dallas Crawford, those type of things. That's what I'd like to see more in the recruiting department.
right.
And I think those guys would actually have a better rapport with some of the younger guys, the young recruits.
So something we haven't talked about yet. We covered we talked about Justin Flo early on.
Mhm.
How are you feeling on our chances to land Jalen Harrell?
Feeling good. Feeling really good.
I'm feeling pretty good about him.
Yeah. I'm feeling really, really good. And that's
What
a huge upgrade.
about-
Huge upgrade. Justin Hodges to Jalen Harrell.
What about the
I'll
recruiting?
take that day age better.
What about the recruiting effort that Mr. Restrepo is trying to do with
Jalen Knighton?
Jalen Knighton?
Yeah, I likes it.
When
I like it a lot.
when I first saw the decommit, I was kind of like, yeah, but he's not gonna come. We got Don Chaney, assuming DJ leaves, we still
I
got.
thought originally that's why he went to FSU. Frankly,
was because of the
Chaney.
competition, right? And assuming
and he knows that Cam Harris is back, Lingard is back. Now they got Chaney. I think that's why Knighton saw an easier path at FSU.
So I'm kind of thinking like, I told Big Dog, I'm like, Big Dog, I don't see it happening. I really don't. And then I see the little video with Restrepo, and he's there. He's doing like one of these, and I'm kind of like, And then you start to see some more things about things that he said about the staff and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think they actually asked.
Army Kane says that he thinks he's ours to lose. I think if Army, if not that, maybe around that 85%. I think it's damn close to that.
Yeah, I think, frankly, man, I'm not saying that he's gone for sure, Army Kane, but that's a very weird situation to get a grasp on, because the whole thing with Lingard is that 1 minute you're hearing that he was healthy, he was ready to go,
he's unhappy because they're not playing him.
right?
And then another minute you hear he goes to Manny Diaz and says he wants a red shirt.
Yeah, so you're kind of like, okay, so you don't want to blow your red shirt because you're planning, So
right.
I mean, hey, look, at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna fault Lingard because I think he's a special talent, but I don't know. It's tough. But you know what? Running back is not gonna be our issue, frankly. Especially with Chaney coming in, man. I know a lot of people have been talking about Lingard and Jaden Knight and whatnot, but guys, the running back that we have coming in Don Chaney is a monster. So, hey, maybe you're right, Birmingham Kane. I'm not saying he is or he's not. I'm just saying that I don't know. I would not bet either way.
Right.
Lingard.
I'm
not going to bet you that Lingard.
That's the way I feel.
And I'm not going to bet you that Lingard is leaving.
Right. That's the way I feel.
That's basically how I feel.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. They were talking about why was I saying that Mallory's been a disappointment when he hasn't been targeted. First off, Dante said something that was really, really true also, is that Enos has to stay aggressive. We got conservative in the third quarter, and absolutely, Dante, he has to stay aggressive. We have to put our foot up people's throats.
Oh,
the thing with Mallory is you have to remember he started off the season with a serious case of the dropsies. Okay. Dropped a couple of passes at Florida against Florida, dropped up that 2-point conversion against North Carolina. He started out being a little disappointing. Now has he not been targeted enough? I 100% agree with you. He hasn't been targeted enough. But the way that you get targeted more is you make something to do when you get the opportunity. Now, he did have the big play against Central Michigan. He did have the touchdown against North Carolina. It was a big play late in the fourth quarter. But I'd like to see when he gets the opportunity for Mallory to make something happen. I do think he needs to be used more, and I think he will be used more because of the injury with Brevin Jordan. But I think we expected Mallory to demand the ball more, and we haven't seen it. So
Hey, I think this is one of my favorite questions of the night right here, big dog.
go ahead.
Man, before you answer it quickly, I want you to think about it.
Okay.
Chaney or Lingard at this stage? Where Chaney's at?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That's tough. That's tough, man.
I hate to say this, dude. I still got to go Lingard.
I know,
If
but
you force me to pick one, I still
I
got to go
get it,
Lingard.
but it's a lot closer than people think.
Oh, it's very close. It's really, really close.
Miss K,
Especially Chaney. I expect Chaney to be 215 by the time he reports.
yeah. Miss K, thank you so much. She says she has to go. Have a good night, Canes fan. Let's get us a win Saturday. You already know, Miss K.
Thank you, Miss K.
But it's closer than you think, man. Chaney and Lingard.
It's closer. It's close.
But that says something. That says something about Chaney.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Chaney's a beast, man. Chaney's a beast.
Yeah.
And people that are down on Chaney, guys, he plays at Bella and Jesuit. And man, he's a monster, dude. That dude's a monster. When we get Chaney to Miami, he's probably going to be 215. Now, a Lingard, I expect him to be about 210 by next season, maybe even 215. Lingard's a little bit taller than Chaney because Lingard goes about 6 foot even, and Chaney's like 5'11". So, but that's an inch. That's not a big deal. Oh man, that's close. Lingard just has that top gear. That top gear is special.
Yeah.
But Chaney, man, Chaney's a solid high 4.4 guy by all is said and done. He's run 4.5 already in high school.
I think straight lines, yeah, but straight line speed.
No, Lingard, yeah.
But, hold on.
Acceleration,
yeah.
Acceleration is close.
Hold on, exactly.
Acceleration is close,
exactly. Short area.
I still give the short area quickness. I give the edge to Chaney,
right?
But even acceleration, I still give Lingard the edge. Remember, Lingard ran a 4.27 40 at Miami.
So stupid.
At Miami, now fine, it wasn't laser measured and all that, but with the track speed that Lingard has, it's probably pretty damn close to that.
Yeah, no, but with short area quickness, man. But I'll tell you what, hey man,
I agree. I think without even if Brevin plays, he's going to be very limited. So I think we're going to see Will Mallory step up, and let's see what he does.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, we're not sleeping on Cam Harris. Carroll City Kane, not sleeping at him one bit. So I think Cam is definitely going to have
he's going to be in the mix for sure.
The first crack, either in the mix or he's gonna have just the first crack at being our.
Rob Chaney has a different style than Duke. Man, who would I compare Chaney to? Whew. That's hard to say. Man, who would I compare Chaney to? Lingard, I compared him to Curtis Dickey. Let me think about it some more and find you a better example. Jay says Don Chaney hands down. I mean, there's Chaney's a beast. Anybody has seen Chaney's tape, you realize he's a beast. Jay, I do think Lingard's knee issue, I think it's behind him. He wasn't a guy that he was pretty durable in high school. Chaney has had some lower lower body issues a couple of times in high school too.
I did think about Gore, Carroll City, but thinking about Chaney, of who reminds you of.
He's taller than Gore. He's bigger than Gore.
Yeah, he's bigger than.
man, and his running style.
I'll tell you what, he's Don Chaney.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
He
it.
doesn't have Willis McGahee. He's probably closer. Birmingham is probably closer. Yeah, they do have that cut and go, Rob. I agree. Emmett, wow. You know what, Dan? In terms of the way that Chaney approaches holes, I see some of that. I do see some of that. In terms, obviously, it's not to say he's going to be as good as Emmett Smith, but I do see some of that. He does run with that little bit of that style of Emmett. So, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, we got a good thing going at running back because we have a lot of talent with Cam. If Lingard does come back with Lingard and Chaney, and if we can get Jalen Knighton, oh my God, Jalen Knighton could be Joseph Yearby, the updated version, and even better.
You gotta give him more.
Even better.
Yeah.
Oh, Knighton, yeah. But I'm saying that's where we're going to use him. They're going to use him as a scat back, change of pace, third down back. Playing the slot. That's what they're going to do with Jalen Knighton if we do end up getting him. Yeah, Chaney has power. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stevie says he reminds him of Sony Michelle. I see some of that too. I see some of that.
Any new info on all line recruiting for?
Yeah, we're bringing in. It's my understanding we're bringing in Alex Akavage. That's the FSU commit that's Miami has talked to.
I haven't heard about that one, big dog. Why do you look disappointed?
I watched this tape and Yeah. I mean, I can see why you bring him in. He's a guy that can develop, but I think he's a guard. He's interior all day long. Yeah, I mean, okay. How can I put this? If he commits, would we take it? Yes. Now, would we take it if we had a ton of options at offensive line? Probably not. Okay, that tells you more or less what I think of his tape.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's the new one. Listen, I like what we're doing. I do think there's another tackle out there to be grabbed. Of course, we've gone back and forth. We talked about Caden Baker.
Who was the one from? He was like from the Midwest somewhere or the West Coast. Oh, you don't remember that we were looking at his tape and me and you were both like, dude.
Running back or linebacker?
No, offensive line, man. He was a
Oh, you talking about the one from California? Justin Williams.
Yes. Was it Justin Williams?
Yeah, but he was from Cali though.
He was from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Williams, right?
Yeah, but he was Justin Williams. Yeah, I liked his film. No, I liked his tape much better.
Yeah.
Justin
Williams, guys, look him up on Huddle. Look him up on Huddle. Justin Williams. So it was
Gabe Taylor, Birmingham. I don't know if you've heard about that, but Gabe Taylor did get an offer from Coastal Carolina. Edgerrin James.
I thought it was Rhode Island.
That's interesting, Jay. That's interesting. Yeah, he had an offer from Rhode Island too, but he just got one from Coastal Carolina. Gabe Taylor is Sean Taylor's brother, guys. And I tell you what, his face, he doesn't have Sean's body at all because he's like 5'10", 170. Yeah. And Sean in high school was already like 6'3". But he has 10 interceptions.
Oh, Thomas, we're not comparing the players. We're just
no, just talking about style, Thomas.
We're not saying they're going to come in and be this or
no, we're talking about style. We're talking about style of play, style of running is what we're trying to find.
Style, we're not.
No, those guys have to prove it at this level before you can ever compare them to a guy like that. And then when they prove it in college, they still have to prove it in the NFL too before you can compare them to a guy like that. So, no, I'm just looking at style.
What happened? You're talking about Gabe Taylor.
Yeah, the thing with Taylor's tape, he has 10 interceptions. He's really only started playing football again, because he was just playing basketball, and he's a good basketball player. He's only 5'10", though. If he is 5'10", I mean, he looks to me more like 5'9". Okay, but if he is 5'10", he has 10 interceptions, 6 returns for touchdown.
He's a player.
He's a ball hog. Yeah, he has that Taylor bloodline. His speed worries me though, dude. I don't have any timing from him, but on tape, he doesn't look fast.
Is
He
it
doesn't
fair
look
though
fast.
because you're trying to see him as
No. I'm talking about just as a DB.
yeah, I got you.
He does not have Miami speed as a DB.
Guys, when you're getting offers from
Go ahead, Coastal Carolina and Rhode Island.
Carolina and Rhode Island,
Yeah, and he's a 2020 kid. Now, mind you, he just started playing football again. And he does have 10 interceptions for Gulliver,
oh, he
which
does.
and 6 for touchdowns. And he does have a lot of short area quickness. But the problem is downright flat speed. He doesn't have it. He doesn't. He definitely doesn't have us be a cornerback. At safety, but then are you going to want a safety who's 5'10" and doesn't hit like Ladarius Tennyson? Because Gabe can hit.
Oh my god, I love the way Tennyson hits, man.
Yeah, and do you think he's 5'8"-ish? That's what he looks to me. He doesn't look even 5'10" to me. I just don't see him. I just don't.
We could get to flip, right?
What's that?
Tennyson, we can't get him to flip, right?
Let's see what happens, dude. Listen,
I wanted Tennyson so bad, man.
That's a short guy. That's a short guy who's ripped at 5'9" and hits like a freight train.
Oh, I wanted Tennyson so bad.
Yeah, Tennyson's a baller. Let's see, but you know what? He's played with us sort of like the same as Jaden Francois. And listen,
go ahead. Francois is signing in December.
Yeah, I know. That's good. That's good for him. I'm done with it, dude. I'm done with that. And hopefully Benny's done with it too.
Lingard should not be available on Saturday.
But my understanding, Lingard's redshirting. I don't think he's.
Yeah, but has he
still play? Right. He hasn't played. He hasn't played.
Oh no, he hasn't played at all. I think he played in one game.
One game special teams. Yeah.
Because you can still play. So
yeah, I mean,
I don't see it happening though.
I think he can. I just haven't heard anything about him playing at all. Yeah, Yella. But the thing is, Lingard, you can play 4 games and still redshirt, but I haven't heard him about playing at all. So
and it was crazy because even the conversation with Manny, like the way he answered the thing about Lingard and the way he said it was kind of like it wasn't like a McLeod issue.
Right.
Like the language with when talking about McLeod and redshirting,
he's going to come back next year.
Was much different in the language with Lingard and redshirting because McLeod was like, oh no, we could play him this many more games, but the plan is to keep him for next year. But
if we need him,
if we need him, and then when Lingard is like, yeah, he's not gonna. He came to me, told me he's not ready. He's redshirting, and boom, like that's where it ended. So that makes you think. Some things as well when it comes to Lingard, but I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. And listen, guys, I've had a lot of knee surgeries in my life. Okay. And I will tell you that I have had knee surgeries where I knew something wasn't right and I played through it and I ended up getting more knee surgeries. So my first major knee surgery, I was 16 years old. Okay. And back then it wasn't like it is nowadays. Where nowadays they make you, I tore everything. I even tore the patellar tendon. I tore ACL, MCL. My knee basically exploded my first time. I went into the operating room. My leg was locked at a 45-degree angle. That's how bad I blew up my knee. But right after that surgery, I knew I was going to be good. Because when I started rehabbing it, you have swelling, you have pain, you have to break up scar tissue. But I knew once I got back that I was going to get my speed back, that everything, I was going to be back to 100%. But then I've had other surgeries that weren't as severe as that one, where I was like, man, after the surgery, my knee don't feel right. And sure enough, 3 months later, I was back in the operating room. Yeah. So that might be the case with Lorenzo. That could very well be the case. It could be one of those cases where that back starts, I'm back. Well, maybe I'm not. Oh, yeah, maybe this is just swelling. Well, maybe it's not swelling. That's the type of thing. So, that's the thing with Lorenzo. Only he knows how he feels, and we'll see. We'll see.
Orange and green blood.
Oh, Cohen, it's all about the U, Cohen.
What's going on, orange and green blood? Yeah, I forgot who asked it earlier. But I thought it was a pretty good question, man. Impact player from this recruiting class coming
For
up.
2020,
Yeah. Who do you
Justin
like? Who do you like the most? I know
Justin
you
Flo.
took my answer because I was gonna come with Justin Flo, man.
Okay. You want one that's already in the boat? One
Yeah,
that we already have committed?
already in the boat.
Okay. Jalen Rivers.
All right.
We need him in the worst way. Jalen Rivers is I know people say, oh, he's going to be a right tackle at the next level, and Butch Berry said no, he's going to be a left tackle. Jalen Rivers is a left tackle all day long.
I'm going with
You
Restrepo.
know how much I like Jalen Rivers.
I'm going with Restrepo.
Well, that's my favorite guy. That's not fair. If I have to pick a favorite guy, it's Restrepo.
No, I'll be honest, man. If I had to pick one, is like that's why I think Army Kane's the one that asked it earlier. You know, Don Chaney. I think Don Chaney it really is gonna be special, and I think TVD is gonna be special.
Yeah.
I think TVD, man, guys. I don't know, like, you know, I think our quarterback issues are good. I don't think we got to worry about quarterback. You know, assuming everybody, you know, Jaren stays healthy. I don't think we got to worry about quarterback for
Couple more
hopefully
years.
a couple more years at the very least. But I really like Van Dyke. I really like Van Dyke. So
I do too. I do too. I think Jalen Rivers is going to be the truth at tackle. And listen,
Darnell Washington is probably like 7 foot already.
that dude wakes up and he grows another inch every day when he wakes up.
Yeah.
I think Darnell, from what I see on tape from him, I think Darnell's future is going to be a tackle. And I think he has an ability to be an awesome tackle, an awesome offensive tackle. I think that could be a Bryant McKinney type of offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Is Washington, but they have him leaning towards Georgia as of right now. I still think we have a shot at Darnell because of our history with tight ends and the fact that we use Brevin as much as we do, and hopefully when we use Mallory here the last 4 games, and then maybe we have a good shot at Army Kane's asking about Quentin Williams. I like Quinn Williams. I know people when we did the video breakdown on Quinn Williams. Chance Williams is a beast too, no doubt.
Chances for sure.
Quinn Williams. I know people when I did the breakdown, people thought that maybe the fact that he's friends with Trenton Simpson, who I'd love to have. To me, that's the best outside linebacker in the country.
And that's looking like it might be North Carolina or Clemson. I don't see Trent Simpson coming here. Man, I would be.
But the fact, hey, listen, him and Quentin Williams took visits together.
Yeah.
So they're friends, and they both play for the same team for what is Mallard Creek? I think it is.
Yeah.
So they're high school teammates. But I like Quentin Williams. Quentin is thicker, not as tall, not as dynamic, I think, of a pass rusher as Chance is. But Chris Washington's a good one too, Cleveland. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Chris Washington, now he's developmental. I don't think he's a plug and play guy like Jalen. Jalen, I think, is going to be ready his first year to be a starting. And to me, he is a starting left tackle NFL type of future for Jalen Rivers.
Yes, so Stunner Boy, we have some talent still in the wide receiver room that we haven't seen much.
Oh, Jeremiah, absolutely.
Jeremiah Payne, 100%.
Jeremiah, absolutely. Now, Matocha is good. Listen, you guys know how much I'd like to tape on Matocha.
Yeah.
When we did the breakdown of our 2019 recruiting class, you know, people thought like Matocha was a fill-in guy. He's not. That dude is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
what was I gonna go with?
My mic is
JT4. You think he's gonna come up? You think he's gonna come back?
I think he's probably leaving. Yeah, I think he's probably Yellow 265. I see he was talking about it.
You see, I'm with Carroll City Canes.
What do you say?
He says no way JT4 is coming back. Too many issues.
Yeah.
Like I think there's just something there. It's just not working out with Miami, man. Like,
No.
so yeah, I don't see
But I'm
him.
gonna tell you right now, he's going to be unpleasantly surprised that the NFL is going to look at his track record and it's going to weigh against him.
Dang, Carroll City. Why do you say that, man?
And you saw that how you saw to
Reading is
what extent that affected Gerald Willis, including the big year that he had. And look how it affected him. JT4, I'm not saying he won't get drafted, but he's not going to get drafted where his talent would warrant, no matter how much he burns up the combine or a pro day, because of some of his issues he's had off the field.
Yeah.
So, what was saying? What you
Yeah,
saying?
Melvin. No, because every time I see Reading, it just reminds me of when you called me.
Oh, Redding's a beast. Absolutely.
You remember when you called me
Yeah,
about
yeah,
meeting? I love Reading too, man.
yeah. Redding's has the problem with Redding is IMG is really struggling in their passing game.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't get the opportunities he should get, and they're deep at wide receiver, so he's going to split time. And but Redding's a baller, and the way I really and Redding's college ready, he is
Yeah.
college ready for sure.
All right, man. Hey, look, let's take just a couple more questions, man, before me and the big dog go ahead and get out of here, man. It's been a good night. I love talking so much about recruiting. I just feel like we could talk for days about recruiting, but
Yeah,
I
let's
think
see, man. You know what?
we got to
I
give our
think
predictions on the game as
okay. I
well.
still think we have a shot at Darnell Washington. I still think we have a shot at Justin Flo, and those are the two
See, I
big
don't
fish.
see Darnell.
I don't
see it.
necessarily, but like I said, I don't see Darnell as a future tight end. I see Darnell as a future tackle.
He does not.
He has great feet for a tackle. He has great feet.
Darnell has this thing going on that I see. Um, James Williams having the 2021 safety.
Yeah.
And it's like
getting too big for their
they
position.
don't stop growing, man. Like you look at James Williams, he was like 6'3", like what was it, like 210, 205?
Yeah.
And then he's like 6'5", and it's like 220 something.
225.
And then it's
Yeah,
like,
and he's still
dude,
growing.
you gonna keep on growing or
Yeah.
what, man? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Our starting quarterback next year will be Jaren Williams. And I think Jaren's going to have a monster year next year. Predictions for this game?
And beyond that, I think the quarterback of the future is Tyler Van Dyke.
I think it'll be a competition. Listen,
It'll be Matocha and it'll be TBD. But
Yeah.
I think personally, I don't know, man. I like Matocha too. I don't know. This is Jaren's team, and I think he's the best quarterback. We're gonna have until Jaren leaves to the NFL. I think we're gonna have
247. I think Jaren's legacy is going to be that he's going to be the best quarterback that we've had here in a generation. That's what I believe.
A63 is hearing Harold to Georgia Tech. Well, that was his most recent visit. I think it was for Harold was Georgia Tech. So obviously, when recruits coming off a school that they just visited, you start hearing some things ramping up.
Because he did say some positive things about Georgia Tech too.
He did. I saw him on Twitter and whatnot. Yeah, but he's like he's gonna be here.
A63. I think we got a good shot at Jalen Harold.
I like Harold. I think the fact that Harold decommitted from Florida State, because remember, Harold isn't a recent decommit. Harold decommitted like a little bit over a month ago, I believe. But it was crazy. He decommitted when Banda went out to go see him. So the separation between when Banda went to go see him and him decommitting was separated by like a week at the most. So that's something I read into a little bit, because when you go on 247, you see their most recent visits, official visits that they have scheduled and whatnot, and then you saw that Banda went to go see him, and then I think Kansas offered him before Banda I think Banda visited him, and then Kansas offered him, but then he decommitted. And there's nothing pointing to Kansas, so that would lead you to believe that visit with Banda went well. So we'll see.
We'll see what ends up happening. You want to go ahead and just do the predictions?
Let's go with the predictions, man.
Just a couple. Muck City asked, "Do I think Lingard will start at running back next year?" If Lingard stays, I think you're going to have a tremendous timeshare probably early on with him and Cam Harris, because I think DJ will leave and then I think you're going to get Cheney in the mix towards the season. Cheney's going to be early enrollee also.
I agree with that.
Carroll City says Manny should be on the hot seat. Listen, he brought it on himself, Carroll City. He brought it on himself. You're right. With all the new Miami talk and with all the, we're going to be different and all this, and then didn't back it up the way he should have. I agree.
You agree with what? With Manny being on the hot seat?
No, he's saying next year. He's saying next year. If we don't see improvement from this year, I think Manny gets on the hot seat. If we're 5-4, 9 games into the season next year, I think Manny's on the hot seat. I don't think we'll be 5-4, but that part I do get.
Yeah,
I do agree. Brian Robinson, Endo, I'm not sure. I do feel that Brian Robinson might have burned some bridges here.
Yeah.
So I sort of think that he's not coming back in that class. Yeah, let's let Robinson stay in tally. I feel you. I feel you. I do think Birmingham, I do think we'll be ready for 2021 for Bama. Lakers, Justin Flo will be at the game. He's taking the red eye Friday night after his high school game. He's flying into South Florida. He will be at the game on Saturday, and he and his family will be on campus Sunday, all day Sunday. So, Jeremy has an amazing season. Enos probably take a head coaching job. Yeah, I can see that happening.
You don't think you got to bring out the bag for Justin?
Whatever it takes, man. Screw it. It's gonna become with this whole thing of the players getting paid. It's gonna become like the Wild Wild West, and Miami's always done well in the Wild Wild West. So that's fine. Bring out the bags.
Hey, Justin, come here.
Score prediction. Let's do this. I think I answered. I think Robert Burns. Yeah, DeMonte, you make a point. I want to see Burns play more this year.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see Burns.
Yeah, DeMonte, you make a good point. I'd like to see him play more this year.
Yeah.
All right.
Score predictions. What you got, big dog?
Let's go. Oh, you guys are gonna like this one. You guys are really like this one. I'm going 44-20. Miami wins it.
I'm going 34-13.
All right.
Canes. So, Clavon, if nobody dislikes, you're not doing it right. All right, we got. If people are gonna dislike, hey, if people are hating, it's because you're doing something right, baby. So those dislikes don't even bother me, man.
What's that?
No, because I think Clavon said somebody disliked the live stream, and I'm just like, you ain't doing it right if nobody dislikes.
We do our best, guys. Sometimes I think people don't agree with an opinion.
Hey,
and then they want to hit the dislike. It is what it is. We try
likes and the support from you guys always outweigh any kind of negativity, man. But I think me and the big dog are truly blessed in that department because you guys are always super cool in the chat, always showing your love, always showing your support, man. So me and the big dog are truly blessed with the Junior and the Big Dog family. So we
guys, to tell you something, I had gotten to the point, and that's why you guys don't see me. Those of you on Twitter, you don't see me on Twitter as much. I had gotten to the point that I was letting some of that toxicity and stuff bother me. And even sometimes in our comment section, for the most part, 99% has been positive and wonderful. The ones that haven't, it actually got to bother me. It's like,
thank you. Appreciate that.
Because even if you don't agree with me, I think, or don't agree with us, I think you guys see that we always do our best and give you as much fact-based information as we can, and that our opinions are fact-based or they're solid. But at the end of the day, I started thinking about it. I said, you know what? We have so much love pouring in from you guys that why am I going to let one bad apple even bother me? And I just stopped dealing with it. So if somebody puts a negative comment, so be it. And I just don't let it bother me anymore. But thank you guys. But like I said, 99% of it, guys, all you show us is love. And it's never taken for granted by us.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. And if you can, hit that like button on the way out. And if you're new to us, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. And Go ahead, you do the rest, Junior, because you do the whole Facebook
Big
stuff.
dog, you killing it.
Oh, hit the notifications bell. Leave comments, guys. Tell us what you think your score will be and why in our comment section. And also, check us out our Facebook page. Junior has the PayPal link if you guys rather do a donation through PayPal. And also, that's our Twitter links are also there. And please always interact with us. That we love you guys, and you guys, we have the best Junior and the Big Dog family in the world.
Yeah, Bergie, PB and J all day.
But I'll tell you what, hey,
I don't like bologna.
no, I'm not a bologna, but you know what? I started eating fried bologna since I moved to Ohio a few times. That thing is good. Fried bologna is pretty damn good. So, no, I don't take it personally, Land Found. I don't. No, and I'm not talking about the disagreement comments at all. Those I welcome, and they've been wonderful. And you and I even talked about it. No, it's the disrespectful ones. And every once in a while you get one like that it's not a disagreement. It's saying,
a boy, man, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, but all we get from you guys 99% is love, guys, and that's what I focus on. So I don't even let the other stuff bother me anymore.
100%. Hey, man, so you already know Saturday. We'll see you guys up most likely on Sunday.
Sunday at 11, guys.
At 11 to recap the game on Saturday with Louisville. And yeah, see how things go, man. Let's get another victory. Let's keep this momentum going forward. Last home game of the year. So let's show out. If you're going to the game, guys, make sure to be loud, man. Be loud. And
I gotta try that Popeye's chicken sandwich. I heard, man, people are going nuts over it.
People are getting stabbed over that sandwich.
Yeah, but no, it ended up. I think that ended up being a fake news story. I think somebody did get stabbed. No, somebody did get stabbed, but it wasn't over the sandwich.
Big dog. No, you don't understand. I've been seeing. You're not on Twitter, so you're not seeing this.
No, that's true.
Hey,
people are going crazy,
in restaurants and parking lots, and people are getting knocked out over this chicken sandwich.
I gotta try it. I love Popeyes, man. Popeyes dirty rice. Oh man, Popeyes dirty rice is the truth.
I like Popeyes biscuits. I love.
I like everything at Popeyes. I like everything at Popeyes.
Fire, but I'm not even trying to say.
It's still doing that spring sound.
No, I don't hear anything, man.
Oh, he says he's hearing like a spring sound from my mic. But anyways, guys,
veterans a weekend, man. Shout out to anybody that serves our country, man. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. Logan, man, a special shout out to you, man.
Army Kane, I think is also a veteran.
Is another one.
All you guys, thank you guys. Everybody. We talked on the last live chat. We talked about my father's service in the Bay of Pigs and the like. So I think Cubans as a whole have a how can I put this? Like an extra appreciation for those of you that are on the line and protect us. And thank you so much. So all our love and all our respect goes out to all you veterans. And thank you so much for your service. And thank you guys for coming out tonight. And it's all about that I want to see, guys, the first 10 minutes of game time. I want to see the same you that played in Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big thing for us.
100%.
So thank you guys, man.
So, hey, it is and always will be
all about this you. Let's do it.
You guys have a good night.
Good night, guys.